Do do do, bouncing ball, bouncing ball. Hey, we're live. It's 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Hope everybody's doing awesome today. It's Saturday and 6:17. It's not 5, it's 6. But I don't know. I was out late with the kids and everything. This was tiring. And I didn't really have to get up and go to work and get all this stuff in, so I let myself sleep a little bit. But it's 6:17 on a Saturday. Welcome to 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Hope everybody had a great week. And are just getting ready, or you're on your weekend if you're overseas already and enjoying it and doing some fun stuff, because Monday you got to tell everybody what fun thing did you do over the weekend, what's your next fun thing planned, and what's blocking you from having fun, right? So you got to have stuff, because we do this stuff so we can have fun on the weekends and enjoy life, right? Kind of like I got home yesterday and went out with the kiddos. Good morning. And I put a video up on my thing because I talked about my son the other day. He was doing the monkey bars and going across the bars, and he would always put one hand, put the other hand right next to it, and then do the next one, do the other hand right next to it. But he's watching American Ninja Warrior, and I told him, I said, well, if you really want to go faster, what you got to do is you got to skip a bar. And the one part was kind of big, but he figured it out. And he was like, I don't know about this. He says, he was figuring it out. So that was 2 days ago. Now 2 days later, I post up a little video of him, and he's just flying across the bars. And it's just like Scrum and Agile. And in Scrum, sometimes, yeah, it's a little awkward at first, but I definitely will help you double your work output without doing any more work, because actually it's less work. You're actually taking less. He's doing less strides with his arms across the bars, and he's getting across faster now, right? So he's actually doing half the work in half the time, or twice as much. I don't know, twice as much work in half the time, as the video goes. And I'm just playing with this emoji he had the other day. The kids are out there. I think the cats were playing with this. Anyway, and it has nothing to do. So this could be also your little hand tossing thing. But now I'm going to tell you, these little, you know how we talked about earlier, having that talking stick where you pass it around. Plush toys are great, but not during cold and flu season. Just a reminder, do not use, because no one will touch these things. And even during cold and flu season, you may have a talking stick. No one's going to want to handed the talking stick. So the little things for the talking stick to go around for daily Scrum are nice, but it doesn't work when everybody's got a cold, because no one's going to want to touch it. And you actually don't want everybody touching it and spreading their cold. And the next thing you know, your entire team's out with a cold. So these are nice for like the summertime, and just to bring it up, something new. I think he got this out of one of those little game things. And please don't forget to thumbs up, right? Thumbs up, and like and subscribe to our 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. We are on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm trying to put pictures. I should have went outside. I want to try to take pictures and put it up on Instagram outside when we do the show. But you know what? It's dark out, so I don't know what kind of pictures I really would get, nor would they be different. Before, I used to ride my bike around town and do that. Maybe I'll still try to get that when the sun comes up. And we'll see. So anyway, so you do Agile and Scrum, you get faster, right? I did get a comment the other day. Woohoo! So I got some comments, some good things, and what's going on. What I had an idea. So I'm going to talk about the comment and reply back to it. And forgot to write it. Well, we'll talk about it. So it's about, and that comment was showing how to do the production. He couldn't visualize it. So I do have a little whiteboard. So I have changed things up, right? I got a bigger whiteboard and I got a little one here. So, and I'm just showing that in the video for people on the podcast. And by the way, this is episode 61. I gotta remember to do that. I keep forgetting. I write it on my book, but I keep forgetting to say it. But anyway, so this is episode number 61. So I'll do a little thing on the whiteboard. I'll try to walk it through as I thought about before. It'll be interesting to see how working on a whiteboard, how I describe it and everything for the podcast people who just listen to what I'm saying. And actually, the comment was given on the podcast version that was posted up in YouTube versus the actual video version, which me doing hand gestures, I don't know if that visual works either. So we'll see how that goes. But I wanted to talk about spikes and what I wrote in my book the other day, spikes, because it was coming out for, and that was funny. I ended up doing a spike with another Agile coach who was supposed to be helping a larger program that went across a lot of projects and teams. And he wanted to consolidate and share something on Jira and do some views. And what I basically did, and I did a spike for him. And where I'm going to talk about it is funny. I wrote down, because I had a debate with another guy who had to do spikes, how long a spike is. And I'm going to talk about what his version was, and then what I did yesterday as a spike. And we'll do this quickly, 6 into it. So the Agile coach I was working with, his version of a spike was, he actually commented to me, "Oh yeah, spike can be like 2 or 3 weeks, and you're doing some analysis, investigation, and all that." And he says, "You don't point a spike." Well, so I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to go in real detail, but I'm going to keep it short. So a couple things wrong with what he said. Well, I disagree with. I'm not saying it was wrong, but I just disagree with it completely. One, you don't. He's like, "You don't point spikes." I'm like, "I disagree. You should point a spike," just like what I'm going to talk about later about pointing and sizing up production requirements and show it on the whiteboard. I do believe you should point everything your team does. I think you should give it an estimate to it. That way, you know how much work is being done in the team. You really want to record this stuff for future reference. You may even want to put tags or labels or whatever the system has. Call it a spike. Even some people put the word spike, and I kind of encourage it because I don't necessarily like the tags, because tags get all screwy, but they're helpful. Put the word spike in the title of your Jira, Rally, BSTS sentence. Let's say you write spike, and then or you write SK or SPK or whatever you want to write. Spike's good enough. Write spike, 5 letters, and then you write what you want to do a spike on. But I do believe you should point it. You shouldn't be doing work that you're not estimating and including into your bandwidth, because one, it gives a false notion to everybody. If you're doing work, that's what it is, your thought process, your brain. So it should be in there and captured. So I totally disagree with that, because I'm a big proponent on just write everything down so you know how much capacity, what your velocity is, how much work you do. Even if you put one or two points, right? No 0 pointer, just like 1 or 2. And the reason why I say 1 or 2, he wrote a spike can be like 2 to 3 weeks. I totally disagree. To me, if anybody's worth anything in their coding or professional capability, a spike is something that lasts a day or 2 max. Okay, it doesn't take long, if anybody really kind of to probe into past firewalls, do requests. Hey, someone says, okay, well then create an API, put the API up there, and it doesn't really take a lot to put the API to face it and protect it, right? And then on the other side, go do a call to the API. You can do that in a half hour. It really not that hard. I mean, I don't even know a half hour. If you have the system and if you've done it before, it's good. But here's a spike. Let's say I never created an API before. I've never done it. So you go and Google it. you go in GitHub, or you go up there and you look for some open source, or you'll just learn how to program in it. It ain't that hard. It's on all the books now. It's not hard to do. And you create an interface. Most systems have the interface set up. You just do a little interface. So maybe your spike is, hey, I want to create an API just to let the data go up so that we don't have to trade data all the time, or we don't have to redo things. So you just create a little one to put a couple things of data up. not your entire system. Okay. Spike's not for the entire system. Spike is for just a little piece to see how it works. So you learn how it operates, and it has business value. You put some little piece of information, you can put calls and puts and whatever, and you just have it done. So it should be 2 days. So maybe you give it 1 or 2 points. Give it 2 points because maybe you're going to pull some friends in to do it, because I also want you to do at the end of the spike, do a presentation of what you found to the rest of the team. So that's why I say 1 or 2 points, right? Because now the 2 point part is you're bringing on your coworkers in on your team, and you're going to demo what you learned in the spike. So they all now learn from that spike. So a little 1 or 2 thing, and it's not much for a developer or tester. I mean, this could be a tester too. I want to use Selenium. I want to try to learn how to use Selenium IDE. I taught myself in 30 minutes. That's a spike, okay? Just to see what it was. I'm not going in-depth analysis and try to figure it out. So where he's at 2 to 3 weeks, totally disagree. And we're at the 10, 11 minutes. I'm not trying to keep this short. So that's one. So yesterday, one of my other cats, he has to do a demo on how to display all this thing in a portfolio view for Jira, and they don't have a lot of add-ons, if any. So I was doing a spike with them, literally, not thinking I was going to talk about this, but basically it was a spike. And I want to show them different techniques of how to display data from multiple projects scattered across the universe into his display, whether we use boards, whether we use portfolio, how do we pull it in, different techniques and whatever. And what was funny, and I only did this for like half hour, an hour. So, but to me, that's a spike. To me, I'm just probing, looking what the system can do, what's the capability, what rules and everything that the admin people have put on the system that are preventing me from doing what I want to do. It is a massive project. And I go, well, do this, and I'm showing them how to do the filtering and linking and connecting and things like that. And it turned out when he did what he did, he connected to like 900 projects, and you're sitting there and watching it spin. And I'm like, well, it's spinning and thinking for a while because whatever you came up with connected to 900 projects, and you're trying to bring all that data into the view and display it. Yeah, Jira's not made for that. However, there is a limit that's put on, self-imposed on the system, but I don't think the admin people have changed it yet, because our version of Jira is not cloud-based. It's actually server-based, and there is some capability changing that. I told them that, and no, I don't have access to it, so I'm just probing to see what it can do. And it capped out because it says you can't do a portfolio plan because you have 900 projects in your view. So it capped it out, and I think you can get around that. I would love to try it. I know you can't do it, or you should be able to do it. I don't know. Maybe they kept. I don't know. Somewhat weird wouldn't happen. But anyway, but he was shocked. So he learned. He's like, I'm giving him a list of things. Hey, you need this stuff. I gave him a list of add-ons we've been asking. So I'm hoping this giant project that has all this money will come down on the infrastructure people, infrastructure gods, right? Because they know everything. And we'll put pressure on them. Buy these darn add-ons so I can do what I want to do. And where our projects are worth multi-million dollars, you need to get this stuff working. Anyway, so I gave him a list of add-ons and things I've presented before. So there's always win-win, right? To help the guy here, and maybe his bosses will come and bang on these guys, and then we'll get what we need. And so it was a quick thing. He learned a couple things. I told him, go tell your boss. I says, your project's scattered to the four winds of the globe, man. It's not organized in any which way. Everybody's tapping into it. Everybody's spending your money. You know, when you have 900 projects that it's tapping into, I said, you got bigger problems. But it was good. We did the spike, right? And all it was an hour. I don't even think I spent an hour. I was just showing them different ways, probably a half hour, but hour, let's say it was an hour. Spent an hour playing with the software, doing different things, trying different techniques, and documenting some of the limitations of the software to do what they wanted to do. And I just said, hey, take this back, go back to your customer, your boss, and your program, and say, hey, I got some limitations. What want to do? We gotta rethink how we want to organize this stuff in the system. But that's what a spike is. It's a small little test to give you some analysis that you can take back later and maybe you rethink how you present it, right? So I gave him the stuff. He's going to present it to his boss and said, we need to rethink how we're going to organize all these 900 projects across Jira, across the organization. I'm like, you got a mess. Your whole system is all screwy. And how you want to do this, you have to think about it. They think these things and they don't realize what it look. They're good at writing requirements, right? But they haven't seen what the results of that is on the other side. And until someone does a spike or delivers an agile fashion on what's coming out, they have no clue whether or not their whole concept or visual what they want to do is even possible, nor is it achievable based on what they gave. So that's that part. Anyway, so we'll get off that. That's the whole 15 minutes. I might have to talk about because we're at the 15-minute mark and I really don't want to go too long. Tomorrow, I have to comment back to the guy on show 62. I will cover, and I'm going to write it down in my book, show 62. I'm going to cover how to break down production in your estimates. So I don't want to go too long because it's already the 16-minute mark. So tomorrow we'll do it. I promise I'll text back to the guy. And I'll cover in tomorrow's episode. And it's Saturday. Hope you guys are having fun. I had to get up, because the unplanned work comes in, right? The unknown work will come in soon enough and everybody will wake up and want me to do stuff. So this is my chance to do stuff for the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum and do the other things that I want to do every day before the whole crew comes down and then takes over, right? And gives me all this work, just like at work, right? If you're in there early at work, you get all the stuff you want to get done, or try to get as much of that taken care of before all your coworkers in there start asking you to do 50 million things, right? So anyway, great weekend. Have fun. It's Saturday. It's 6:34. So a little bit later than the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum, but it is Saturday. I don't even know how many people are up watching. So maybe we got somebody. Who's that? I got a comment. I don't know. Maybe someone's on there. I got one viewer. You guys have fun. Sorry if I didn't get this thing on the how to estimate production and stuff in the sprints, but I will put that next sprint and I'll actually come up with something. I'll draw it out first and get my thought process together. So hopefully it won't drag on. And we'll do that tomorrow. With that, have a great day. Happy scrumming. Please like and subscribe to 5 a.m. Mester Scrum. Give us that little thumbs up, right? And ring the little bell. My kids, they're going to do something neat. I got them all worked up on it. So anyway, you all have a great day. Enjoy and keep it up, man. Keep trying. Take care. Bye.